what makes a rail fence so popular?
Oh, it keeps your horses in the pasture. But we have a great block tutorial. Keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Cafe.
I'm so excited to get into this tutorial. We're going to go right straight to the first quilt, and we're going to show you all these secrets about rail fence. So the very first one we're going to do is called rail fence. It's so super simple. And then we're going to build off of this. Let's put this one on the table and we will show you how super simple the foundation block is.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous quilt we've got some great fabric too.
I think the basic concept of the rail fence is that you're going to sew strips together and then you're going to cut them into blocks. It's that simple.
So easy.
You're going to use your pattern instructions, and it's going to tell you to cut long strips, the width of the fabric, and sew them together. Then you're going to cut a unit. So let's show you how that works. I'm going to keep handing Fran goodies. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut your long strips that are the width of the fabric like this. The patterns will tell you exactly what you need to cut. Then you're going to take those strips, and how easy is this? You are going to sew strips together. So technically, a rail fence the block is a pieced block.
Yes, it's a piece block made from strips.
That's right. So super, super simple. So it's not a lot of little squares, it's strips. And then you're going to cut this off of the side, which we refer to these as units. In this case, this particular unit is your finished block.
Yes.
So we're going to put that right here. And isn't that fun? I love this fabric.
That is so fun.
Then you're going to do the same thing again, and you're going to use the alternate fabric. So it's going to have the same here, and then it's going to be in the center here. And don't you love this? This is like a stripe, and when you use a stripe in rail fence, it actually causes more movement to go on. So your fabric is very important that you select so that it has high energy and fun and interest.
Yes, but I also think that if you're being challenged with a striped fabric and you need a pattern to use that stripe, a rail fence is a great option. Like this is a stripe.
Oh, well, this is a stripe too.
This technically could be considered a stripe as well, and you can see how beautifully it works in the patterns.
Absolutely. Now we're going to make our second set like this, cut our units off, and this one is going to go right here. Now these are very similar in color, so hand me the cropping tool and I will crop this out, because the basic quilt, we don't have this fabric anymore, but you can see that the coloration is such that it's going to be just as beautiful. Don't you love that?
It is so pretty. That jade is just such a gorgeous, rich color.
It is gorgeous.
And the two coordinating fabrics are just perfectly matched for it.
Now this particular one is the number 1 fabric, and that's a gorgeous jade that you were talking about. And remember the stripe? Now that's going to be your number 2, because you compare those two and take the light, and then you have the number 3 is your dark.
Love it.
This particular one is 8022257 Floral Frost. Rail fence is the pattern. It's a super basic pattern, and you can also find that pattern. You're going to get it free with the kit, or you can find it in the book, Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts.
I love that one, Mom, very much. So our next rail fence example is called porch rails. So basically what we've done is we've taken the basic rail fence block, which is this one here, and we've alternated with just a plain square block. So that creates this neat pattern on the quilt. So let's check out the fabric for that. Now this is just very fun fabric. I think it's very nice and it's very nostalgic. Now, are these olives?
No, I don't think that's
an olive. Are they just buds? Okay.
I'm really not sure what they are, but that little spot makes them look like an olive.
It's charming. It's absolutely charming fabric. So in this case, our fabric number 1 is going to go in the larger block here. And then our number 2 and 3 fabric are the fabrics that will be building the rail fence. So our 2 is in the center and our 3 is on the outside. So this will be the gold, and then our green will be here and on the border. And I think that this just complements so well these 3 fabrics together. And I think this is going to make a just Charming, charming quilt.
This is a great pattern for using that focus fabric, and then the rail fence has become like the secondary star in the show, but really make it all go together.
Yeah, absolutely. So the fabric kit number for this one is 8022258. It is called Maple Hill, and the pattern is called Porch Rails, which is available as an individual pattern or in Pretty Darn Quick.
Awesome. Now this next one is called Puzzle Me This, and this one was a fun one to design. This was in my very first book, Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts, and I really enjoyed doing this, and I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit, so I used a little bit skinnier strip here. So normally you'll see a rail fence with 3 of the same sizes, but I changed it up a little. So let's put this over here.
Now before you show everyone this fabric, I have to say that if you're interested in any of our quilt kits, the quantities can be limited at times, so if you see something you like, you might want to jump on the website real quick and go get it, because we do have limited quantities, and this one is so much fun, and we've got pieces and parts.
Oh good, I love that. Okay, so it's in the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts that I mentioned just a moment ago, and as usual we always give you lots of diagrams, and we are alternating. Fran used a quilt that alternated a block with the rail fence. I'm going to do the same, but there's a little bit of piecing in my block. So she had a plain square. We're going to step it up a little by doing a block, and we have the illustrations that tell you exactly how to do that. So let's get started with this and the pieces and parts. Now remember, I told you that I did a strip piecing that had a skinnier block in the middle, and that's what this one is. Now you do your strip assembly the same way, but you're going to use different sizes of strips, and then you're going to cut this off of the side. I love this happy stripe.
It is so fun, and once again, what a great example of using a stripe so well.
Absolutely. I love that, because you don't have to match up any stripes with anything.
That's right.
We're going to put this right here in this block, and we will hand this off to our friend. And then the next one we're going to do, now this is what's interesting about this block. Now if you've learned how to make a rail fence, you know you're just sewing 3 strips together. If you will hand me the cropper here, I want to show them this block.
Okay.
And then they will be able to see what I'm talking about. So we use different sizes here, and this is going to be the center of this. And do you see the commonality? Once again, you have like a rail fence, but it is a shorter rail fence. Isn't that cool?
That is really cool. I never thought of it from that perspective.
Yeah, rail fences are like a building block. They are awesome. So we're going to do that here. And once again, where we have a skinny strip in the middle, we're going to put a little fatter strip in the middle of this.
Okay.
And then we cut that unit off. See how that's just cut off of the side? And then we are going to cut 2 strips. These are super simple strips. So let me show you how that works. We're going to be using this here. So there's one mini rail fence, and we're going to border it just like so. So we're building on that basic knowledge of how to put a rail fence together. So isn't that cool?
I love it, and I just love having the stripe in this pattern. It just calls to me. It's so much fun.
I like it a lot. And I remember this was one of those fabrics that we bought just because the fabric made us happy, and we didn't know what we were going to do with it. And this is the perfect quilt for that.
Yes.
Now let's look at this great fabric. This one is called Fiesta, the kit. So this is our number 1 fabric, and that is going in the number 1 spot here. The number 2 fabric is the center, and it's also a portion of this. So it actually goes together in such a way that the number 1 is used all over this particular quilt.
Okay.
And the number 2 is also used all over the quilt. Okay. This is the number 2 fabric, and this is the number 3. It's going to be your accent color.
So it's really going to pop.
And look how gorgeous this looks on the, when you put this into your border, you're going to have something that is very interesting as well.
Absolutely.
So this one is 8022259 Fiesta, and it is called Puzzle Me This. You can get the pattern free when you order the kit, Or skip your little patterns, buy 3 kits, and you can get the book free. And in this case, it's quick and easy 3-yard quilts.
Yeah, that's a great deal. So our next rail fence pattern is called Gallery. Now we've done kind of a building block. So we just saw something where we did like a square and a square using our rail fence. Now this one has something similar in the center, but we've put one more border on it, and then we've alternated it with a rail fence block. So you can see how it can just build and grow and just make an amazing quilt. Let's check out the fabric for this. I love this color combination. It's very unique, I think.
I think it is too.
And this pinks and grays and blacks and golds are just gorgeous together. And I guess these are like tulips. And they
Awesome.
are your number one being on the border, and it's a nice wide border so that you can really get a good feel for that beautiful fabric. And then it's almost like framed in a picture frame with this block. So it really looks fabulous.
And this is actually done the same way with that little mini rail fence. Do you want to show them that?
Yes, let's show them that.
Okay.
That's good.
So it's
point.
like rail fence becomes a building block for so much.
Right, right. So what we have here is our rail fence. So we actually have 3 strips in which we've cut that unit off, and then we add the sides,
And voila.
and then there we go. And then we just add more sides. So it makes it so simple. So once again, here's our focus fabric, just absolutely gorgeous. Our number 2 fabric is this beautiful grade that I think picks up the focus fabric so well, because if you can see, there's like the little dots and things in the background of this, and this almost mimics that perfectly.
Love it.
And then we have our number 3, which is this beautiful flowing pink stripe. Now, once again, this is kind of a directional, like a stripe fabric, and you can see how beautifully it works in a rail fence pattern. So if you're looking for a project for those stripes, this would be a great one.
Perfect.
Now here we go. Our kit number for this one is 8022260. It is called Tulip Tango, and the pattern is Gallery, which is available in the Modern Views book, and it's also available as an individual pattern.
But wait, there's more. Let's do something else with the simple rail fence.
Yes.
Okay, this one is called Hopscotch. And Hopscotch, we pieced another little piece here and then put sides on it. And it's technically the rail fence properties going into making a different block.
It is just amazing how versatile all these blocks are, and how the basic block is like the building, the base of another block.
Right.
And it keeps quilting so simple and so easy whenever you really think about it that way.
That's right, it does. And can you hand me the cropper and I'll show them this one. So in this particular case, we make a strip, which is like another, this is even a shorter rail fence segment. So this is going to be our first unit that we make with long strips. We cut this little piece here, and then we put the sides on it. Still has 3 strips in there, but that becomes the basic block for us. Then we make the same block out of alternate fabrics, bordering them with the alternate
awesome.
fabric. And that's how simple this particular quilt is. But now it has lots of movement.
Yes.
So let's look at the gorgeous batiks that we have for that one. This is your fabric number 1. And it will be a great fabric with these 2 that you have. Isn't that pretty?
That is gorgeous.
And this light green is your background. It's super.
It's really going to pop. This is a great pattern for batiks too, because it's going to just help blend all those yummy colors
Yes.
together, and you're going to look at it, it's just going to look like this gorgeous art piece of, I mean, it's just going to be gorgeous.
Well, when I first started quilting, one of the things that I did, I would see a quilt like this, and I'd say, look at all those little bitty blocks. And I would I think I will stay with great big blocks. But you know, these are so easy to put together.
They really are.
So this one is called Aqua Afternoon 8022261. Hopscotch is the pattern. It's from the book Quilt Favorites, and you can either take the pattern free or skip the pattern, buy 3 kits, and you can get the book.
Awesome. So our next quilt that we have to show you is called Garland. Now Garland is basically building on the rail fence pattern again. In this case, we actually have a different kind of pieced center section on the block, but you can see it's still basically a rail fence, and then we've alternated it with this fun pinwheel. So let's check out the fabric for this one. Now, our Garland pattern is from one of my very favorite books that we have right now, and it's our brand new book, Make It Christmas with 3-Yard Quilts.
I love it too.
I love it. So I'm so thankful that we had a rail fence pattern in the book that we could show you. And so our Garland quilt here, actually, the block is made basically the same as a standard rail fence. We have our 3 pieces that we've put together.
Well, show us the 3 pieces.
Only difference, that's a great idea. So,
all right.
But we almost have like a rail fence in a rail fence a little bit, which is kind of interesting. So the very center part of our rail fence, as you can see here, is 3 strips of fabric.
Perfect.
So in a way, that's like a little skinny rail fence, right? But we've sewn 5 strips together, so it makes it very easy. So our center piece has 3, and then we have our 2 outside pieces. So it's kind of, once again, the building block. The rail fence is a building block for additional blocks, and you can see how easy it is to make it a little bit more interesting.
I remember when you showed me your sketches for this particular quilt, I thought, how clever is that? It is awesome.
So fun, so fun. So our number 1 fabric is this gorgeous red with the word joy all over it, all different configurations. And what I love about this fabric is the joy is in that metallic gold.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
great.
it really shines. So this is a great Christmas quilt. And of course, our number 1 fabric is in the center section of our rail fence here, on the border and in the pinwheel. So it really helps it pop off of our number 2 fabric, which is this yummy kind of creamy white, which also has the gold in the little vines here. And that is here and in our pinwheel. And then our number 3 fabric, and oh my goodness, does this not just look yummy together? Yes. So our number 3 is this black with the holly and the holly berries. And it also is outlined in that gold, which is so gorgeous. So that really makes a nice pop in the center part of our rail fence and bordering our pinwheel.
That's great.
So I have just really enjoyed working with these fabrics, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous in this pattern. So this quilt kit is called Holiday Tinsel, and the number is 8022182. And this pattern is from the Make It Christmas book. Now remember, if you buy 3 kits, you can get the book for free. And we're also suggesting an alternate pattern of gallery.
Well, you know, if you've enjoyed this tutorial, then you need to subscribe and click that little bell, because we do things like this all the time, and we take you from the very beginning all the way through the end and show you tips and tricks that you want to be without.
Yep, so dig out those stripes and make a rail fence. It's Fran Morgan
And Donna Robertson.